You want to be a successful day trader and you don't know how. Let's dive into the program and I'll teach you what I know from my experience. This is part one of this series of how to be a successful day trader. My name is Edscap. Make sure to subscribe, to like the video, turn on notification button. So first thing first, if you want to be a successful trader, if you want to earn as a trader, you need to work on your psychology. What do I mean by psychology? Okay, so what do I mean by psychology is that first thing first, you need to know what is your risk. What is your risk? What I mean by that is how much you're allowed to lose per trade. Being a conservative, as I am, your risk should be roughly between 0.5 to 1% of your account balance. So for the sake of simplicity, if you have 100K balance in your trading account, then each trade should roughly allow you to lose between 500 to 1,000. It's very important because with this figure in your mind, you know how much size you can put and how much freedom you want to give it. Because if you put in a lot of size and you're not really making sure that this is your risk, you can easily wipe out your account, and you don't want that. This is the number one reason why a lot of people don't succeed in trading, even though they have magnificent analytic skills and they know the market. This is why. Okay, number two. Okay, so the second thing that you need to learn is how to be adaptive, how to be dynamic. So, how to adapt. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that, let's put it in this way. You have a plan in your life, I don't know whether to go abroad, you have a plan for your future in 10, 15 years from now, you plan to buy a house, you plan to build a house, you plan something in your life. How many times those plans came through exactly as you thought so, without any surprises or problems? Probably not so much, right? So if you want to be a day trader, you need to be dynamic, you need to be adaptive. So if the trade doesn't go your way or it doesn't seem like it's going your way, you close it and maybe change the direction if you have the settings, if you have the conditions. So being adaptive is learn how to be flexible. Because if you learn how to be flexible, then you have a lot of power because you're not stuck in a rigorous mindset. That's why so many people who have static trades, this is my TP, this is my stop loss, I'm not touching anything before it hits one of them. So I saw so many traders like that, that they were in profit, quite a large profit, and they didn't take TP. They didn't take some of it out. Why? Because they said, no, this is my trade. It's supposed to go like that. No, this is not how it goes in day trading. Day trading, you need to be adaptive. Yeah, of course, you need to have a formula. Of course, you need to have some kind of structure and plan. But if it doesn't go your way, change direction. That's what separates a good trader and great traders. And it's okay to say, okay, maybe I was wrong. That could happen. So learn how to be adaptive and also take care of your ego. Don't be with a lot of ego because the market will humble you so much. So many times I was humbled in the beginning because I thought, no, it's supposed to be that way. And I got humbled. And believe me, that's not a very nice feeling. It's not a very comfortable feeling. It's important, but it's not a very comfortable feeling, especially in the beginning where you think that you don't know how to trade, which you probably don't know how to trade because of this psychology. All right, so there is that. So what's the third thing in terms of mentality? Okay, learn your asset. What do I mean by that? If you're a beginner, Probably you should stay away from gold or silver or forex or crypto. Why? Because they are for long term. What do I mean by long term? They are for swing trading, swings, or investing. Now, forex is probably more for swings because you're not going to hold it for investing or anything. It's not that long, in my opinion. Okay, so what are the best assets for you as a beginner? Well, those are indices. Indices. Okay, so we're talking about NASDAQ, talking about S&P, talking about Nike, we're talking about the DAX index for the German. Okay, so those are the indices. They're quite easy for a beginner to learn how to trade them. Why? Because they have a repetitive pattern. So, for example, once you learn your asset, you learn exactly what times are the best for you to trade them. So Nasdaq and S&P, they're in the US time. Nike in Asian time, in Japan more specifically. DAX is in Europe. All right. So now we know that. And also, if you really want to be masochistic and you want to trade gold and silver, Asia. That's the best time for you to trade them. All right. So once you learn your asset, once you learn the times that are the best for you to trade those assets, the next thing is what exactly is your time? What do I mean by what is your time? When do you shine the most? When do you shine? I don't know what happened with this. When do you shine the most? What do I mean by that? I have a good friend of mine that is really magnificent in the open of the US market, and is making a lot of money because of that. Me, I have less edge. So statistically speaking, I have less success rate when I'm in the US market. Now, don't get me wrong, I know how to trade it, but I'm not as confident as I am when I'm in the later parts of the American market. This is where my edge shine. So I would rather trade in those times than, taking adventure and trades in other times that are not very fruitful for me. Okay. So learn when the time for you is the correct time to trade. And it's individual and specific to each and every one of you. The next thing is gonna be is that probably you heard that day trading is gambling. Okay, day trading is gambling. Well, it can be. If you don't know how to assess your mentality, your psyche, and how you approach the market in every specific day. So, to give you an example, what separates a professional trader than a professional gambler is that gambler looking at how much profit he can make. How much profit he can make, right? Trader looking for how much money he can lose. That's what separates them. These are not equal, because a trader, his utmost purpose is not to earn money, it's to survive. I know that's probably counterintuitive, but if you focus on the money, if you focus on the gain, you're going to lose. You're not going to last in this game. The goal of the game is to survive as much as you can, because there would be opportunities, really great one, that you can utilize. Either you were impatient enough and you took a marginal trade, or it just didn't work out. That's okay. I mean, life goes like that. Sometimes things doesn't work and you need to change and adapt. So you need to keep yourself safe. You need to keep your account alive for you to utilize and actually take advantage of future opportunities that might be even better than the current one that you're in. Okay, so we have this one. Also, we were talking about patience, right? Being patient. Looking or waiting, if I can say, waiting for the best environment for you to trade. What do I mean by that? We're not going to dive not going to dive in depth into the ins and out of the technical analysis. That's not the purpose of this first part. The first part is to get you started with the mentality, get you started with what's important. Because 90 to 15% is really technical, and the rest, which is 80 to 85%, is psychology, psychological. So you need to master this first before you master anything else. So what do I mean by waiting for the environment? Waiting for the exact same of parameters that gave you in the past the greatest result, the greatest statistical result. So it could be W, M, vector candles. We're going to dive into them in the future. Vectors, structure, sessions, volume profile, etc. Once you learn that, then and you know what is the combination of those parameters that works for you, you wait for them. Even if it's gonna take 2 days until it show up, you wait for them and then you take a trade. Why? Because you want to have the most percentage, the highest percentage of success in your trade, because you're dealing with uncertainty. So in order for you to gain as much as you can and have the best result that you can have in this uncertain game, you need to reduce the variables. So it means trade in a specific time every day. Don't steer away from that. Don't go for adventures. For me, for example, my best times to trade are before the New York Open, in the last half of the New York, Asian market, and that's it. Those are the best time for me to trade. For someone else, it might be different. So learn when you shine and where in terms of environment you also shine. So for example, if I see something like this, okay, this is a market, doesn't matter what it is, this is a market, I see something like this, I see like a long drop, and then price do like this. Now I can get into the trade and think, okay, maybe it's gonna go up. Okay, but I'm waiting. I'm not jumping the gun right away. To what I'm waiting? I'm waiting for an intent, waiting for a pattern. So if I see a big spike and move up, then I know, okay, Mr. Market Maker, which is the one who moved the market, wants to shift away from this zone. Okay, so I'm waiting for the retrace, and then I put my buy. Same thing can also be said about the M formation. It can go like this, and then Mr. Market Maker can shift price down because he wants to move from that zone, and I'm waiting for the retrace to enter and then taking short. So this is the best way for you to know when to trade after you see the intent of Mr. Market Maker, because then you have more information about the move. Why trading can be seen as a gamble? Because people don't wait for this intention. That's why. Let me give you an example. You're working with statistics, right? I don't know if you know, but you're in a game show. And you have 3 doors. Between two of the 3 doors, out of the 3 doors, you have two doors with a goat. Let's say this is a goat, this is a goat. Between the remaining door, what you have in the remaining door is that you have a cow. All right, so you have a cow. Now the host of the show, and the doors are you don't see them through, they're closed. And the host of the show asks you, which door number do you choose? Okay, and you don't know, and the host doesn't know. No one knows. And then you say, okay, I pick door number 1. Okay, you pick door number 1, and then the host tells you, and then the host exposes you the third door, the door number 3, and he told you, behind this door, let's open it, and then you see a goat. And then the host asks you, do you want to change your decision, your choosing of the door? If you say yes, then you have higher probability chances to succeed. Why? Because in the beginning, statistically speaking, you had 33% of getting the door right. Unless, I mean, if you're a normal person, and unlike few of the people that I know of that would like to have a goat, if you really your goal is a cow, so you have a 33% chance of getting it right. Now, after the host exposed that door, exposed the third door, you got more information. So now, if you change the door, if you change your decision, your number that you chose, then instead of 33%, it's not 50% like people would like to think. No, because this door already gave you some ideas, gave you some information. It impacted the decision. You get 66.7% of getting it right, so it's more than a half. So those are the statistics that we are looking to work with and higher, because if you accumulate and combine few conditions, few parameters, you can get as high as 85% or 90% of getting a trade right. Okay, so that's all for today's video. In the second part of this series of videos, of course, we're going to dive into more in depth into the M's and W's, and also go and look in the chart with lots of examples. If you have any suggestions, if you have any words that, any ideas on how I can improve my channel, it would be of great help for me, because this is really my beginning and I'm just learning as I go through the motion. So I would love to hear from you if you have any more ideas. Also, I'm gonna have an improved microphone soon, so my videos will be a lot better than they currently have. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to hit the like button again, don't forget to put the bell notification on. It would really help my channel grow, and it will help me give you better videos and better content. All right, have a good one.